Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. He just made his first major announcement in his new position. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@explainamerica. And hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. Guys, Pete Hegseth, he's kind of feeling the way all of us are feeling right now after a devastating crash between a commercial airline and a Black Hawk helicopter. What happened last night was an American tragedy. It's one of the worst aviation disasters in history. And we're all looking for answers. How did the Army let this happen? How did the air traffic controllers let this happen? What happened on board these two aircrafts? These are things that, gosh, we're going to be asking these questions for a long time. I'm absolutely devastated hearing the stories about the lives lost in this tragedy. It tugs at your heartstrings. I've seen videos posted to Instagram from some of the figure skaters posting videos right before they left camp, knowing that families were on that plane, even on the Black Hawk. These are people's children. It's absolutely devastating to us as a nation, and we all mourn and pray for these families who've lost loved ones. Pete Hegseth, the new Secretary of Defense, he made an announcement about this. He's calling for an operational pause while this is investigated. I will tell you that one of my questions, and I want to know if you're with me, a Black Hawk helicopter, as I've read from experts, one particular expert, is incredibly hard to see. It's designed that way. It's designed to be hard to see. Even with the lights, they kind of blend in with the city lights. It becomes very hard to see this aircraft. So my question is, why would we be testing Black Hawk helicopters over populated cities with high air traffic? Why is that a thing? It doesn't make any sense. I'm sure somebody smarter than I knows the answer to that question, but I certainly don't, and I do want to know. I would like you to listen to what Pete Hegseth had to say, and let me know what you think in the comments.
But I also wanted to give an update on the tragedy that happened last night here in Washington, D.C., and provide a little bit more information as we are actively working to investigate and understand what occurred and why. At about 8:48 last night, a UH-60 assigned to the U.S. Army Aviation Brigade in the Military District of Washington, Fort Belvoir, Virginia, collided tragically with a civilian airliner. The unit involved, the Army unit involved, was Bravo Company 12th Aviation Battalion at Fort Belvoir. It was an annual proficiency training flight. And when we look at the crew, and not all kin have been notified, so we're going to withhold ranks and names at this point. We do know on our side who was involved. It was a fairly experienced crew, and that was doing a required annual night evaluation. They did have night vision goggles. The 12th Aviation Battalion, as of now, is granted a 48-hour operational pause on contingency missions as what happened is reviewed, and a senior-level aviation team, an investigative team from our Aviation Safety Center, was deployed last night and already is in Washington, D.C. to investigate what's going on. We anticipate that the investigation will quickly be able to determine whether the aircraft was in the corridor and at the right altitude at the time of the incident. As I mentioned, next of kin notifications are ongoing. It's a tragedy, a horrible loss of life for those 64 souls on that civilian airliner, and of course, the 3 soldiers in that Black Hawk. They're in our prayers, their families, and their communities as people are notified. I can't imagine. And I know it's gone from a rescue mission to a recovery mission, and we're with all the first responders that are moving actively too. So at the Defense Department, Our thoughts and prayers go out. We are actively investigating to find out what happened and why. And as we get updates, you will have them. God bless.